All right, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was a week ago, I lose track of time, we interviewed a Michigan restaurant owner. Her name is Marlena Pavlos-Hackney, and she was arrested for refusing to close her restaurant amidst COVID-19 lockdowns. Now, she's had a tough go of it. She is from Poland. She understands what these kinds of crackdowns really are and how dangerous and easy it is to lose your freedoms quickly. Well, she was arrested I believe the day we spoke to her, and she's on now with us. She's also being joined by her attorney, Robert Baker. Welcome, Marlena. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on your show.
Sure. So, first of all, recap why everybody was so mad at you and why you were threatened with jail time by the state. What were you doing or not doing?
Well, as you know, the Governor Whitmer, she imposed all those rules and regulations that every business, restaurant should be closed and follow her guidelines and suggestions, which, in my opinion, they are not the laws. So I took decisions that I'm going to be open and I'm going to serve the food. And I have a sign on my door which, says that I have the sign. We are constitutionally complying business. We are not interfering on anyone's unalienable rights. By the law, we do not follow any of governors, mayors, health departments, or other government agency orders or suggestions pertaining to social distancing or mask wearing. And then I have a highline. Then I said, your health is your responsibility. So people who come to my place, they are aware of how I run my business. And like I say before, I respect everyone who feels different and didn't participate by giving me them business and they stay away. But we the people, we have the rights to decide what we will follow and how we'll live as happy and happy lives and follow the freedoms that the Constitution gives to all of us.
Okay, so Marlena, you didn't do this right away. When it first came down, you complied, right?
Yes, the first time, like everybody else, from March to June 14, I comply because I take this very serious because I think, okay, something isn't right. But as
Correct.
things go and we see, I feel different about all this virus. Like you see, you go to all these other places like Menards, Costco, and so many other big corporations, and they don't have to follow any rules like we do, tracking and all other stuff, distancing. You go on the plane. Did you see anyone to have a distance like 6 feet apart? Everyone sit next to each other. What's the difference, my business and the airplane business?
So, Marlena, you left Poland in 1983, and I don't know if you spent any time in one of their jail cells, but you had to have known others who the government came in and just hauled them away, sometimes in the middle of the night. Now you've spent 5 days in a U.S. jail. What'd that feel like?
Feels like my freedom has been taken away. I experience something who no one probably did, but some they do. At least what I experience, I can see like some things are not right. Like, for example, making phone call. When they take you to jail, I try to call so many times, like collect. I cannot get in touch with anyone because I think something wrong with this phone line. The way they navigate is impossible to go through. Only way to be able to make a phone, you have to have money on your account to be able to get in touch And then another issue people have, like when they take you to jail and you don't memorize the phone number that you can call anyone, you are of help. Because I see other people who came to jail when I was sitting on the bench, they say you have the right to make a phone call. And each person says, well, I don't remember the phone number. And when you go there, they take all the devices away from you. So if you have your cell phone and you have all those numbers to call someone to get help, you're unable. So I encourage every person who listens to memorize one phone call. If something happens to them, that they will get arrested and go to jail, that they will remember the phone number, that they can get some help.
That's crazy. The judge that that put you in jail, he caused quite a scene. He accused you of being in it only for publicity. Where's that coming from?
I don't know why, but as you know, they censor I have a Facebook business, Marlena's Bistro and Pizzeria. That's my business Facebook. And I know they use anything I post against me, because every time I have a court, like with, before I have a summary suspension and the judge was Lauren Van Still, then I have a judge Wanda Stoik, when they impose restraining order against me and then bench warrant for my arrest. They watch closely anything I post, anything I say against me. The same also, I had a video made on Rumble, which says Marlena fights for freedom, and some others. So certainly that they use everything against me. Even when I went on Carl's Tucker show, they used everything I say against me, which, as you know, I'm fighting for freedom for American people, because we have to follow the constitutional protected rights that all of us American people we have. And
does
as
this
you know,
feel like does this feel like we're headed towards Poland, 1983?
yes, this what exactly says. If you're gonna watch my video on Rumble, Marlena Fights for Freedom, you're gonna understand clearly what I'm talking about. And also, I would like to say the politicians no longer represent the people, rather they represent a cooperated structure called United States Incorporation. And the politicians have not been representing the American people. And they are the ones violating the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the rule of law.
All right. So, Marlena, let me talk to your attorney here for just a second. Your attorney is Robert Baker. Marlena spent 5 days in jail. I think she got some bad advice, legal counsel in the beginning. You have come in. Tell me what the situation is and how likely she is to, put this behind her and be the victor here.
Well, so she was arrested the 19th, and it was a strange arrest because the Michigan State Police sent 3 unmarked police cars out to pick her up on their way to work at 5:15 in the morning. And that's highly suspect because I suspect there are a lot of outstanding felony warrants that haven't been executed. So we have 3 unmarked cars of state policemen coming to pick up somebody for serving food. At the hearing, at the hearing after she was arrested, she was denied many different things, portions of due process. One of them was that her person who she thought was a representative got sent to jail immediately, just about. And then so Marlena was trying to assert her constitutional rights, asking for me, because I was on a Zoom hearing. And then secondarily, she was asserting her Sixth Amendment right to counsel. And the judge threatened her with 93 additional days if she opened her mouth. And it frightened Marlena, and thank goodness she shut up. But,
Sixth Amendment.
So there were many different aspects of that. But more offensive was her treatment. So she was shackled and brought in front of cameras. Okay, why that? She was bruised. While she was in the jail, they did a cavity search, which I'm not sure about that. and then she was denied an effective assistance of counsel. So.
Okay, so Robert, I know that there's a GoFundMe page. Is it still up? Because they're starting to take things down now on GoFundMe. If you happen to stand against some of the COVID rules and restrictions, her legal bills and everything else, all the fines and everything she's incurred are really adding up. You're about $13,000 away from your goal. And I'll send people to that. But again, this money that I think shouldn't have to be paid at all, is she going to see justice in the end? What are the odds?
Well, I'm hopeful that she will see justice in the end. There's a lot of constitutional protections out there that have been eroded in the judicial system, but they seem to work once there's publicity and it's out in the light. I mean, I struggle every day fighting for people without the means to fight these type of attacks against the freedoms of America. So I believe she'll ultimately be successful. I'm hopeful that the system as it stands will prevail. The Michigan Supreme Court has struck down the governor's orders as being unconstitutional and unlawful. So I'm very hopeful that we will prevail in the end.
Robert, I appreciate it. Attorneys like you, I had the best First Amendment attorneys, and I've had them on retainer, and we've fought in court several times side by side for First Amendment rights. I've had them for 20 years. They've been on retainer. They've just dropped me because they say that it will cost them too much politically to represent somebody like me. All of their other clients will start to complain. And I mentioned vigorously John Adams and what he did with the British. It is critical that attorneys have spine and stand up. And I appreciate, Robert, that you are doing this.
I appreciate that, and you should give me a call. I wouldn't mind representing you.
All right. Thank you very much.